Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, and even though I've already done 2 videos today, and even though by the time you listen to this, it will be gone 10 p.m. UK time, there is a very important change that has just been made to the Pokemon trading card game penalty guidelines that you need to know about. It takes effect today. If you're at a tournament right now, these rules are in effect. But not only that, the Latin American International Championships are starting in 8 days' time. A week tomorrow, Latin American Internationals is going. And these are big, big changes. These are like huge changes, to be perfectly honest, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we start, huge shout out to Tina Michie. First of all, she let me know about these changes as soon as they happened. Second of all, she was a wonderful sounding board as I talked through, just double checking. I'm not a qualified judge at the moment, though I have been many times in the past. She is a very high level judge who answered all of my questions and confirmed I was right about these things. So huge shout out to her. She is a lovely, lovely person. So, 2 big changes. We'll take them one by one, make sure we go through everything. Although, as always, any questions, chuck them in the comment section. Also, right, this is the 3rd video of the day, so if you could do us a solid and go click on the other 2 videos as well, show me that the amount of effort is appreciated. So, the first change is single card prize penalties gone. There is no such thing as a single prize card penalty in the Pokemon trading card game at the moment. That no longer exists. There are now 5 types of penalties. Number 1, a caution. Essentially, a caution is just noting they did something wrong, should be followed with an explanation to the player about the correct procedure, as well as notification to the player that a repeated offence may result in a higher penalty. Not a problem. That's when you do a silly. Warnings like a caution, except it must be reported to Pokemon Organised Play by the head judge or organiser of the event in which they occur. It's not a huge problem, to be honest. It does say here that if less experienced players commit a second offence that was a caution, maybe use a second caution, especially for things like juniors, etc. But warning is for when you really done a silly, to put it bluntly. Having said that, my record, I think, was 13 warnings in one tournament. Yeah, it was the ECC. I played 15 rounds, okay? I'm sorry. But then, if it's too severe for a warning, straight to double prize card penalty. The double prize card penalty is used when a mistake has been made that significantly affects the game state, and there is no clear way to resolve the issue, or when a warning has been given and a quad prize card penalty would be too harsh. Yowza, we'll get to that in a second. Or indeed, right now, because the next penalty is a quad prize card penalty. That's right. You can be penalised for prize card. That is crazy big, ladies and gentlemen. What that means is you can no longer be given a single prize card penalty. Either it's a warning, double prize, quad prize, and then after quad prize, we go straight to a game loss. Game loss is used where a mistake has been made that has a severe impact on the game state, to the point where the game is irreparably broken and unable to continue. This penalty is also used for other major procedural errors or problems. Okay, there we go. That is a big change. Now, why do we have a change like this? And the answer is very simple. GXs and EXs. Now, I don't know for absolute certain, but my overwhelming guess here is that it's because of EXs and GXs. You see, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, so I'll be quick, there is such a thing as a 7-prize game in the Pokemon trading card game. If you knock out 3 GXs, you take 6 prizes and win the game. But if your opponent puts down 1 Oranguru and no other basic Pokemon, or single prize Pokemon, and then you knock out the Oranguru, you've taken 1 prize. You knock out 2 GXs, you've taken 5 prizes, there's only GXs on the field, and then all of a sudden you've got to then take prizes 6 and 7 by knocking out a GX. And the thing about a 7-prize game is N becomes nuts. Because now, after a prize penalty, if you've knocked out 2 GXs, You would then have 1 prize remaining. Your opponent could end you to 1, whereas usually they'd be ending you to 2. That's a bit weird, although the second change massively impacts this as well. We're in a situation at the moment where we tend to be moving in doubles. That's the main explanation I have for this. It's an alright change. I have no huge problem with this. We should all know how to play the game. But I tell you what, this could get harsh, because look at the kind of things which turn us into a double prize card penalty. What is deemed a major offence? Now, Tier 1 is a warning, Tier 2 is a double prize card. But at a regionals or internationals or worlds, i.e. regionals or higher, they are automatically Tier 2. Drawing an extra card. Latin American Internationals is not this weekend, it's next weekend. You go to round 1. You play an N and accidentally draw 7 cards rather than 6. You get a double prize card penalty. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. Automatic double prize card penalty. You shuffle your deck mid-game without the use of a card effect. Your opponent gets a double prize card penalty. You accidentally take 2 prizes after knocking out a non-GX. Your opponent takes 2 prizes. You forget to put damage counters on because of poison. Your opponent takes 2 prizes. Tier 1 and Tier 2 is very simple. I did check this with Tina before I made the video. At a regionals or higher, it will be Tier 2. You draw an extra card, you get a double prize card penalty. And these could be escalated to quad prize card penalties. Now there is another huge change, and this one is also giant, because now, if you're given a prize penalty, you do not take the prize cards. So if you've got 6 cards remaining, your opponent draws an extra card, and then they get given a double prize card penalty, which they will be given. You do not draw 2 prizes. Instead, your judge will give you a prize penalty slip, and it will be deemed that you have to take 2 fewer prizes to win. So 6 prizes will be on the board, but you'll only have to actually take 4 of them in order to win the game. And if you don't think this is a huge thing, this is a huge thing. And I'll give you 3 reasons. N. Counter energy. Counter catcher. You see, Counter Catcher and Counter Energy are great cards, but only when you're behind on prizes. Counter Catcher is just a Pokemon catcher without the coin flip, just an instant gusting effect, but only when you're behind on prizes. Counter Energy is 2 of any energy when you're behind on prizes. Stuff like Cobalion loves Counter Energy. If you get given a prize penalty, your opponent takes a prize, all of a sudden, you've got access to Counter Catcher. You've got access to Counter Energy. Ouch. That's not good. You're gaining an advantage from making a mistake. You make a mistake, your opponent gets a prize card penalty, you get access to these cards. But N is even worse. Imagine this. You make a silly error, I don't know, maybe searching your deck because you thought you'd played a card that you actually hadn't, or whatever, and you get given a quad prize card penalty. Your opponent takes 4 prizes, you drop an N. Turn 1, you end your opponent to 2. And this basically happened. Friend of mine at a tournament a while ago, he was playing a game, and he did his deck list wrong. He was given a treble prize card penalty, something that isn't possible nowadays. Turn 1, he ended his opponent to a 3 card hand. His opponent drew dead and he won the game. By giving prize card penalties but not actually taking the cards, it means that when you get given a prize card penalty, you don't get access to Counter Energy. You don't get access to Counter Catcher. You can't screw your opponent over with an N. This change, I feel very confident in saying, is absolutely brilliantly wonderful, and I am delighted. Slight downside: you don't get the card advantage, because usually if you get given a prize penalty, or your opponent does, you get to take extra cards, which gives you extra options. But I think this is a wonderful change, and I am all in favour. So to recap, 2 big changes that have been made. Number 1, single prize penalties are gone. We have gone straight to double prize card penalties. And it's for something as simple as drawing an extra card. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying you need to know. Because if you're going to Latin American Internationals or Regionals anytime soon, or North American Internationals, you need to know this. Draw an extra card, draw an extra prize, attach an extra energy. You are getting a double prize card penalty. Number 2, when prize penalties are given, you don't draw the cards, you just get given a prize penalty slip. The irony here is that if your opponent's given a double prize card penalty and you accidentally draw those prizes, rather than just getting a prize penalty slip, you'll be given a double prize card penalty. And if that's not the definition of irony, I don't know what is. I made this video at the last minute shortly after I've done 2 videos because you know what? It's important news and you need to know. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I want your thoughts. Get them down in the comment section. Go nuts, but be nice. Tell me what you think about these rules. Tell me if you agree. Do make sure you're nice and do click me other videos, you know, free video day and all that. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio and do check out my other channel, Wassy Plays, for more Wassy action. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.